Hi there, my name's Aaron from Holcroft Nissan in Stoke-on-Trent, and today we've got the delight of bringing you the new Nissan Qashqai with e-power. This is the first one that has ever come into our showroom, and it is the new electrified technology from Nissan that allows you to drive the car as a full EV but with a fuel generator that powers that battery. So you don't plug it in anywhere, you just fuel it as a normal car. But here is a short video from the manufacturer themselves detailing exactly how e-power works. Now what we're going to do is go around the exterior, we're going to look at the exterior of the vehicle, how it's built up for this exact model. This is the end connector, and then we're going to go inside and take a look there and take it out for a spin and see what we think. So as you can see from the outside, this one is the pearl ceramic grey, which is quite a nice grey. It looks flat from the start, but it's not, it's a pearl paint. And the easiest way to tell the difference from a normal Qashqai to an e-power is the front grille. So as you can see, they've got this bar across the top, which gives it a little bit more aerodynamics, and it gives it quite a nice design. It's got a very strong presence because of the V-motion grille, which has been widened with this black bar here. As we go across, we've got the boomerang lights, which are full LEDs. You've got LED daytime running lights. And then, as you can see, just on here, you've got the Qashqai, which is embossed into the front grille and on the bumper, which gives it that sort of premium element. Down here, these are actually vents, and what they do is they cool the brakes. Because this uses regenerative energy to charge the battery as well as the power from the engine, that is exactly what we need. So it's going to cool those brakes, keep them cool. Then as we move down the side, you've got the e-power emblem just here. So that tells you exactly what you're looking at. You know it's an e-power from the road. So from the outside, you know it's a family car. It is a Qashqai. It's got everything in terms of technology inside. On the exterior of this model though, you do get the 18-inch diamond cut alloy wheels, and you'll see in the mirror, in the little hubcaps, that we have got the new Nissan badge, and we get the new style key. We've got the floating roof design and the tinted windows at the rear, but let's go take a look inside and let's have a look at the technology. With it having the intelligent key, we can either press the button like we've just done, or you can press this here. This will lock the car and open it by just having the key on you. You might wonder why I'm sat in the passenger seat, and that's because I want you to get a good view of everything that's going on. So we can turn the car on and turn the electrics on. That folds out the mirrors, as you can see, and then as we can see inside, you've got this mood lighting around the automatic gear shift, and we've got some extra features. Now with this being the new model year, that means we get this huge display up here, and we also get the digital display just on here. But we'll move through the controls, we'll have a look through what we've got. So in here we've got USB and USB-C for charging with a nice little phone cable, and there's also a little dock in there too, so if you buy the dock you can dock your phone in. Down here we've got the drive mode, so you can change between normal, standard and eco. The car will always start up in standard. Just here, this is the gear shift, so your foot has to be on the brake to move it, and we push this little tab in and move that up and move that down, and that can go into drive or brake mode. Now, because this uses that regenerative energy which I was talking about, you do have another technology in here that you wouldn't get in a normal standard engine vehicle, and that is called e-pedal. So there's a little blue button down here that says e-pedal, and what that does is means the car will automatically brake itself. So as you come off the accelerator, the car will automatically start braking for you. And the reason it does that is to provide better regeneration to the battery, but it can also slow down in a much more efficient fashion than any human can. It gives a much smoother braking facility. As we move up, this one's got the wireless charging feature added, so that's nice there, nice little touch. And obviously we've got the keyless ignition, which we've already gone through. We do have dual climate control down here, and we can change the temperature of either side of the vehicle. And then we move on to this huge display. It is monstrous, it's fantastic, very, very good. So we can select a profile, and it's already been set up by the person who's driving this vehicle, and we can connect to Bluetooth. We've got satellite navigation, which gives us a huge map display, as you can see, and gives us traffic updates. We've got digital radio, Bluetooth audio. It's got all the new Nissan Connect features, and we can even have different applications. So we've got Nissan Connect services, weather, we can look at where we are, downloaded apps, and then we've also got system information. We've also got a full 360-degree camera with a steering guide. So if you go in reverse, this brings on the reversing camera, front and rear parking sensors, or you can press the camera button and we get a huge display of the car around us. Unfortunately, when you're in a showroom, the LED gives this sort of flashing effect, but that doesn't happen when we're out on the road. But it does give you a very, very good look at where you are, what's around your vehicle, so you're not going to damage it as you're driving. We can even check the left-hand side, because you should never park on the right-hand side facing the curb in the UK. We can see and make sure that we're not going to scuff those alloys. But we can also press that again and get a full frontal view of the vehicle, and you can see that bumper there. Now we've gone through all of the controls from a passenger point of view, we need to jump into the driver's seat. Right, so now we're in the driver's seat, we want to be looking at the steering wheel. So on the left-hand side, we have got the automatic lights, and we've also got auto high beam assist. So if we're driving at night and we've got our main beams on, the car is automatically going to dip those headlights and bring them back on when the car coming towards us has gone. On the right hand side, we've got automatic wipers, and a nice touch, it does come up in the digital dash and tell us exactly where we are with those. And we've also got on the steering wheel volume controls on the left hand side for the radio and track controls. We've got a little scroll wheel here that we can go through and have a look through satellite navigation. When we program in a destination, the map will actually come up on this display too. And then we've also got radar cruise control. So on the right hand side, we can touch down, and this will follow the vehicle in front. We'll brake as they brake, we'll speed up as they speed up, but won't go above the speed limit that we set it to. It's a really nice touch. And we've also got the Bluetooth controls. Now, just to touch on e-power. So the way this works, we've got a petrol generator which sits in the back, and that charges the battery as well as the braking system, and that effectively drives the wheels, which was displayed in that little short video from Nissan. So on the left hand side, it tells you how much range you've got in the battery, and as you can hear, there's no noise. So at the moment the car is running, but there's no noise because the engine isn't running, so we can't hear anything. We can just go in electric mode. I'm going to want e-pedal on because that's the way I drive. And then down the right hand side, we have got the fuel gauge, so that tells us how much fuel is in the car. So what we want to expect is a better sort of fuel economy out of this, but all the benefits of EV driving, so instant torque, instant acceleration, no gear change, and that's what we're going to find out shortly when we go for a spin. But just to touch on safety features, Nissan absolutely tell us to shout from the rooftops about these, because this is a standard end connector with a wireless charge pad and a glass roof. So as standard, on top of all of that, we're going to get blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, like I mentioned, the radar cruise control, front emergency braking systems. There's no wonder why this isn't a Euro 5-star NCAP safety rating. It's phenomenal. So it's top of the range in terms of ratings for safety, and also it is a fabulous family vehicle. So let's go check out the rear space and the boot space. Stepping into the rear, we've got an abundance of room. One thing I really like about the glass roof is that when this blind is back, it just gives us an abundance of light and it feels so spacious. But even with it closed, I've got plenty of headroom. In terms of knee room, that seat is where I would drive, which is normally quite far back. I've got plenty of room here too. And just for the benefit of children, you have got USB-C and USB in the back for charging their devices, and ISOFIX. Just in here, a nice couple of cup holders. In today's market, boot space does come at a premium, but the Qashqai doesn't disappoint. It's got a huge boot with plenty of space. as you can see in here, we've got loads of room for the family. We can push chairs, golf clubs, you name it, it's all going to fit. Now this is a reversible boot liner that's been put in, so that can come out if we want it to. And just underneath, we've got even more space. We've got these adjustable panels. It's great for people who need that accessibility, so wheelchair users. You've got a nice flat line surface, so you haven't got to pick anything up and out. You can just slide it in. But if you want to, you can separate it. We can move our shopping around. We've even got little hooks up here to stop any spillages. So if we've got carrying milk, we can just hang it on there. And we've got a power point at the back, so if you are going out camping, you've got power in the rear. These boards are also reversible, so if you are carrying a little bit more you need a bit more hardware in surface, you can turn it over and protect all of those. But from the rear, it's a very nice design. We get the Qashqai emblem that runs all the way across the back and the e-power badge here, full LED brake lights, and of course the rear privacy glass to keep it nice and cool. Right, so we're strapped in. Let's go take this out for a spin. It does take a little bit of getting used to having a fully electric car, so there's no sort of engine noise at all at the moment because we're just running on the battery. But it does give you that nice smooth drive. I can just lift my foot off the accelerator and we are going. It's really, really nice and smooth. And it's nice to hear those parking sensors kicking in, giving me that sort of spatial awareness of where I need to be so I don't damage the vehicle. Now, the one thing that people will need to get used to is actually the instant torque and acceleration. Now, the engine is running now, so I can hear it running in the background, but as I put my foot down, it's just instant. It's very, very quick, I must admit, very responsive. Now, I've got e-pedal on, so as I'm taking my foot off the accelerator, it's automatically slowing down. And on the left-hand side, I can see that there's that regeneration going into the battery, giving me more power. But in terms of comfort, it's a very nice, spacious sort of interior and very, very quiet. The one thing that I was slightly concerned about was how noisy is that going to be, because in the past there have been manufacturers that have tried to produce these kind of vehicles with this technology, but generally it's very, very quiet. It's not whirring away in the background and irritating me. And the one thing that Nissan did brilliantly is they have used their experience of building EVs. Now, you might wonder why I'm talking about that. That is because they learnt the lesson very early on in production of vehicles that run on battery. Because there's no engine noise, they have to build the cars a lot more robustly. So you can't hide rattles and annoying creaks with engine noise. So they built these cars with that in mind. So it's a very, very, very sort of, what's the word? I would say very stable drive, very, very well built. That's the impression that you get when you're driving this sort of car. So we've just come around, we've been driving around for a good 20 minutes or so, and the driving is really comfortable. I've learned something straight away. So the more power I put down, you hear that engine kick in and rev. And that's because it's supplying that power to the battery. Now, in terms of, one thing I love about these kind of cars is when you're in a normal petrol or diesel car, because when you brake, you're just using your brake pads. In these, when you take your foot off, it uses the battery to brake, so you get a lot less wear on your brake pads. Now, we've come to a top secret location, not around a mile away from our dealership, and we want to try out the acceleration. I want to experience that acceleration from 0 to 60 to see how it accelerates and how smooth it is going through. So we'll just find a nice safe location to pull over and we will see how that goes. So we've just pulled over, a nice safe location. One thing I do like, and I must stress, is how big these mirrors are. I've got such good visibility out of them. So let's see how it drives in sport mode. So we've activated sport mode, nice and safe, nothing coming. We'll just pull out. Now, what we're going to do is just put a foot to the floor and see what happens. So let's go. And that instant acceleration sort of forces you back into your seat. You can hear the car revving and we can feel that speed picking up, but there's no gear change. So it is absolutely fabulous. That is awesome, I must admit, good fun. But because we've got that instant torque, instant acceleration, there's no slowing down of gears. Very smooth. We can hear the engine revving. So we still get the benefit of hearing that. You know, one thing that people do say about EVs, yes, they're quick, but you don't hear it, you don't hear anything. This still gives you that fun and that drive and that power that you're looking for with one of these cars. And for a family SUV, it has got plenty of poke. So when you're going to come up to roundabouts and you know, that hesitation because it's a big car. People worry that they're not going to be able to make it or accelerate out of a situation. They're going to have to break into one. This car is going to give you everything that you need. As you can feel as I'm coming out that junction there, it's just instant. It's so smooth, so refined and relaxed too. You know, I've got no concerns about this car not getting and not going. It's really, really fun, I must admit. Very, very comfortable. And there you have a review of the new Nissan Qashqai with e-Power. We think that this is one of the best cars ever to come out of the Nissan production plant, and we are super excited to have it within our range. Now, if you would like to get in touch with us, I'm sure one of our award-winning teams will be absolutely delighted to introduce you to a new world of driving. You can contact any of our dealerships. We've got either Hanley, Crewe or Northwich, and I'm sure they will be absolutely delighted to speak to you. Please follow for more and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on all our social media channels where you'll get much more information, much more reviews and plenty of content.